You're listening to the Kazual Sportz Show.
Palmer stepping away at first. Palmer extending the play. Crosses the field. Larry Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald is going to take it into Green Bay territory.
The show exclusively known as the voice of the Arizona Cardinals fan club, the Bird Gang.
Fitzgerald inside 30. 50. It's insane.
Now with your host, Earl Burnett, a.k.a. Casual E.
Bird Gang on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Welcome into the Kazual House again, Bird Gang, on another lovely Monday night. Monday nights are your night to get your Bird Gang fix and your Cardinal fix right here into Kazual House with Earl Burnett, Sean McConnell.
Yes, sir.
Let's do this for you every Monday so that you get the latest of what's going on in the world of Arizona sports, particularly the Bird Gang. We give you the news, what's going on in the community. No other show is doing that around the valley. You know where to come to get your Bird Gang news, right here. Follow us right here on our 3 avenues: Twitter, Facebook, and of course Instagram. All with the same tab: Kazual Sportz, Kazual with the Z at the end of the word sports. What's going on, Sean?
Man, it is a good day to be above the dirt. Not so good for the Cardinals as they come up with a loss, but, you know, I got to say there's some positives in this game that I did not expect to see, and I know we're going to talk about this in depth today, but also got to give a quick shout-out to ASU for that upset again on Michigan State. It is a beautiful thing to smack them around twice in 2 years. We'll probably get into that later in the show as well.
But missed field goal at the end. Was that the Michigan State last year? The one I was jumping on the camera and got caught on the camera?
It was basically the same scenario, man. It was just
man.
A lot of the same. And you know what? I'm fine with the trend as long as it goes that way, you know?
Exactly. So we got a lot we can get into. Of course, you know, we are going to get into the Cardinal game, but let's find out what's going on in the world of sports.
What's going on? What's going on?
In the Kazual House.
All right, man, we got things we can talk about. Of course, here, Drew Brees. Drew Brees. 6 weeks from that thumb injury. How you think they're going to hold up with him out?
You know, Bridgewater seemed like he was going to be okay, but then it got shaky. It's going to be potentially 6 straight losses, man. I see them maybe coming away with one. They may be able to come away with one. I'm not looking at their schedule right away, so I'm coming in with basically no knowledge whatsoever, just on what I saw beforehand. It's going to be shaky for sure because Drew Brees has obviously been the franchise guy for years and years, and it's a hard guy to replace, especially on short notice.
Right. We also got Ben Roethlisberger is down for the season.
Veterans are dropping like flies. This is a good time to have a rookie, right?
What is that all about?
Oh, you know, there must be something in the water. I don't know. Something in the Metamucil, you know what I mean?
Just knock on wood that none of these major injuries come to our team. Those 2 guys being out, both of those teams are on our schedule. So those wins now that we can turn our season into a few more wins, maybe?
It all depends. It really all depends. I mean, by the time we get to them, those quarterbacks will have at least a little bit more experience and will be hopefully a little bit more serviceable. They'll have more prep time. They won't be thrown in short notice. I think it's going to be you got to take it week to week with this, especially like we were saying on the neutral zone last week. You can't really judge any of these teams until week 4. Well, now you got those 2 teams that lost quarterbacks in week 2. You can't judge them until week 6. You got to give these guys a good 4 weeks to really know what you're getting with them. Okay. And I mean, it still bodes well for the Cardinals because it's still not Pro Bowl elite quarterbacks.
Okay.
But with some more time and some more rest and scheming, there's 2 great coaches on those teams for the Steelers and the Saints. So you can't really discredit their ability to game plan a game. So
they do a good job at it, like you just said.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it's an easy win for anybody, considering we haven't won anything yet. So
well,
not wrong.
Other news, of course, in the NFL. We're going to stay in the NFL. Antonio Brown is going to fight the charges that are against him in the sexual assault.
Shocker.
And so, in your opinion, I mean, I've been hearing a lot of this over the course of the whole week and all of this thing leading up to right now. Do you think the NFL should have put him on the exempt list?
You know, I'm not really sure what to do anymore because the NFL doesn't know what to do anymore. Each case, each player, it's different every time. And now it seems like they're going to take this like hands-off approach when this player's been more scrutinized than the rest of them. It's really confusing. It's hard to set a precedent when each time is different.
Right.
I don't know what to expect. I do expect him to fight anything because that's just what he does is he fights everything. Even if it's good for him, he fights it like a helmet. I don't understand it, but that's just how he does it.
In this case, I mean, I'm not, on the side of AB for all the antics that he's been doing, all this, teammate stepping on his teammate stuff and organizations crumbling down beside him.
Right.
I'm not worried about all of that, but to his credit, the victim in this case has been discredited already.
Yeah.
If you already caught on video with the dude partying like crazy, he half naked in the dang on bed, and you tripping around him, and nothing, like nothing's just gonna happen. Really, I mean, come on now.
Yeah, but there's also a second accuser now, so now you have to wonder: is it just because? Is it just because there's blood in the water? Well, I don't know. I don't want to ever take away a victim's voice, so exactly. I don't want to say that they're not being honest, and I know you don't either. I'm not saying that you do,
right.
but
for sure. But I'm just saying it's kind of sketchy when you see her partying with the guy, and then the story being. She keeps returning back to the house to do the same exact thing. Okay, if there's issue going on, why do you keep returning?
Yeah, this doesn't sound like a good thing from the start.
Yeah,
which is like the case with any Antonio Brown situation. None of it sounds right from the start. None of it makes sense. Something that's you always have to kind of figure out. I don't understand it, and I really wish it would just end.
Yeah, me too. And by him fighting and taking it all the way to court, it could last a long time.
Very long time.
And eventually get thrown out of court for no, insufficient evidence or something like that. It's crazy. He made his debut as a Patriot on Sunday. So yesterday, so did a pretty good job out there. I thought he would struggle a little bit trying to learn that offense, but they did kind of sub him in and out, in spots that he knew what to do.
Yeah,
but you can tell he's still learning it. So. Tom hooked up with him for 4 catches for 55 yards and a touchdown, 56 yards and a touchdown. So that's not bad for a debut. Do they really need this guy out there? Because like I said when we were in the neutral zone, I said the Patriots just want him. They don't need him. He's a luxury to them. So the way Josh Gordon is going right now, and then you getting the kill back, and you still got all of those. They are going to be hard to stop.
Absolutely.
He stays aboard. So here's my question to you. How long does he stay a Patriot? Does he make it through this year as a Patriot?
I don't see there being no more issues. We have how many weeks left, including the Super Bowl?
we
have a lot of weeks left.
Yeah,
Let's just say a lot. I don't see there being no more stories. I see there being more stories, and no one would be surprised if the Patriots cut him the morning of the Super Bowl, if it ever came to that. No one would ever question it because the Patriots do that. Like you would never question it.
Right.
So does he make it through the whole way to 0-0 in the Super Bowl? No, I don't think he does. I don't think he does, but. There's a lot that can go on, and I'm not going to doubt his, personal transformation on the inside because I don't want to wish that against anybody. I want him to be the best person he can be, but he's got a lot of work to do, and he's got time to do it. But does he really have time to do it?
Really, I kind of see it like it's going to come down to how he responds to what a player like that caliber responds to the most, and that's playing time. What is he going to do when Bill Belichick decides today we're running the ball, we're not throwing the ball as much? What is he going to do when his pitch count is down, in a playoff game, and the game plan says use you as a decoy today? What is he going to do? Is he going to pout? Is he going to be a distraction? There's a long way to go from now until the playoffs.
Yeah,
and he already was doing crazy things from his helmet to his feet up until this point. So it's like.
There's
Is he going to stay with his feet cleaned up to this point?
there's been players that have had question marks that have been able to buy into the Patriot way. Randy Moss being one of them, Josh Gordon being one of them. And then there's players who haven't been able to buy into the Patriot way. And where are they?
Yeah, exactly.
They're gone. And sometimes never to be heard from again.
Exactly. Yeah,
even the ones that don't do anything wrong,
a
lot of them are gone and never heard from again.
That's true.
So it's hard. It's a hard system to buy into, and it's a lot of humbling yourself. And if you can buy into it, I mean, the writing's on the wall. The success is there. You can't deny that.
Right.
Whether it's cheating or not cheating, or scandal or not scandal, they still find ways to get that trophy away from the other 31 teams. And it's unfair and it sucks, but that's just the way it is.
That's so true. Now, speaking of not buying in, a boy down there in Jacksonville wants out. Jalen Ramsey already starting to pout because of the big argument going on the sideline with the coach. And they're losing like crazy. And they're not supposed to be this bad of a team. And you see all the frustration is mounting up there.
Well, we missed out on Minkah Fitzpatrick today. You want Jalen Ramsey? It's going to cost a first.
Man,
and our first might be high.
He's a lot to deal with, probably as a personality, but he is a talent.
Yeah,
and I think I think right now he's probably more not going 100% right now because he's on this team.
Yeah.
When he gets to another spot with a new fresh start and he can be Jalen Ramsey again, I think any team would want that guy on their team.
Okay, but next year's Cardinals first-round pick, would you do it? Let's say that pick's top 5. Would you do it?
No, because you still have Byron Murphy, and you have we don't know what's going on with P2.
Okay, now 2021.
Now you deal P2 away. That's a possibility. If you
I know a lot of people are talking about
number
that.
One corner, you need another number one corner. Then yeah, I would do it because you would have to have a veteran back there to help out with Murphy.
Now I would like to propose not next year's, but the year after's first round pick.
You're going all the way before we don't know what the hell's going to be happening.
But here's my logic with that: you get to keep Murphy, you keep Patrick, and you have Ramsey. By not next year, because you need those picks to keep rebuilding, but the year after, you don't necessarily need that high of picks. You might be at the time to start shooting actual bullets, not these practice, we're young, we're learning bullets. Then you have the 3 best corners in the league, and it's no fly zone once again.
Yeah, well, that sounds
I might
like a
do
plan,
that.
but you got to also keep in mind, too, we haven't done a good job at drafting offensive linemen.
No, that has to be next year's priority.
We have to build the offensive line.
Absolutely.
So
all 7 picks next year.
All
of them.
All 7 picks. That would be funny.
All 7 picks. If you need more picks, trade it, but you're not using it on anyone other than a lineman.
Yeah, and Steve Keim has not been good at drafting these dang on linemen, man, and it's just unbelievable. Hold on 1 second. We got a call coming in. Hello? I'm on live right now, man. Okay, sure will. Sorry about that.
Man, Casual E's too popular.
You get really important phone calls from people that are like in high spots. You can't not.
They wanted their shout out. You got to name names now. Who was it? You got to name names now.
That was one of my contacts for next time we get another guest. He's like, okay, I'll hook you up next time. Oh yeah, don't hang up though, dude. Hold on, I'm answering that phone. But yeah, our drafting has not been all that great on the offensive line, so I'm hoping next year we do a better job with that. And there's some offensive linemen on the board coming out of Alabama. Because that's about the only school you can look at.
Really?
That's playing on a level that you can say, okay, take him from there and put him in here, he'll be all right.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can land a get this offensive line going away, because Kyler had to do some running around a lot early, but then they settled in a good deal of offensive line. We'll talk about that later, but let's take our first break here and we'll get ready. I forgot to mention to the Bird Gang out there that we're going to be having a guest in the house tonight. Evan Kirk is going to be joining us tonight. And if you don't know the last name, if it does sound familiar to you, if you're living under a rock,
His son wears number 13.
his son wears number 13 for the Arizona Cardinals. So we're going to be talking to the father of Christian Kirk a little later today, coming up at around the 8:30 mark. But until then, we'll get back, Bird Gang. But here's something for you, what we're going to talk about next. Has the hype come through the way we thought it was going to come through on Kyler Murray? We're going to talk about that when we get back. Kazual Sports Show, Earl Burnett, Sean McConnell. Hang around, Bird Gang. We'll be right back.
You.
We're going to take a little break, but we'll be back in a while, so don't nobody go nowhere.
The Thunderbolt Boxing Heavyweight Explosion, Saturday, September 14th at Westworld Scottsdale in the Equidome Arena. 5 heavyweight boxing matches and 1 featherweight bout. Doors and bars open at 4 p.m. Tickets available at eventbrite.com. Search Heavyweight Explosion.
MPX, a neighborhood joint located at 4717 East Bell Road, is not just another restaurant. It's a community partner and gathering point. At MPX, everything is made from scratch. The menu is a creative spin on traditional American classic. Every item on the menu has a story behind it. From Ashley's Biscuit Chili, raised short ribs, to the PB&J French toast, there's a new favorite waiting for you. In addition to being the ideal neighborhood joint, MPX is committed to uplifting the community, partnering with local schools, hosting benefits, and give back. If you're looking to schedule an event, MPX, a neighborhood joint, is the perfect location to come together. And while you're there, be sure to check out the 195-inch TV. For more information, call MPX at 602-788-7134. Visit www.mpx.life. Follow us on Twitter at MPXLife. Like us on Facebook or stop in. Again, we're located at 4717 East Bell Road in Phoenix. MPX, the official neighborhood joint of the Easy Sports Talk Show. Be sure to tell a friendly and courteous staff Ed and Jim sent you.
Tune in to the hottest hip-hop music in the valley. Music from all the local artists only right here on KSRN, the hottest internet radio station on the web. Featuring artists like Blaine Coffee, J Love, Bad Hollywood, Frontline Music Militia, and more. Hip-hop all night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. daily right here on KSRN, Arizona.
You are listening to the best internet radio station on the web, KSRN, Arizona.
First pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Kyler Murray, quarterback, Oklahoma.
Kyler, you ready to roll? Good, man. We need you to ignite this offense. So
it's time, man. Hey, the talk is over. Now they got to deal with you. You know.
The talk is over. Now they got to deal with you. That's one of my favorite lines since he's been coach here when he came here on draft night. Speaking about Kyler Murray on draft night, the excitement we had on draft night was like way up here.
Oh, yeah.
So has it, after OTAs, after training camp, and now 2 games in, has he lived up to that hype? Or have we not even got there yet?
Man, there's a lot to be said about the NFL rookie quarterback learning curve. There's a lot to be said about it. It's not for the faint of heart. It is not easy by a long shot. But I like what I see from Kyler. From the first pass in preseason, I've liked what I saw from the get-go. Now, has he been inaccurate at times? Yes. Has he rallied? Absolutely. Those are things that we haven't necessarily seen from last year's Josh Rosen. And I'm not going to discredit him because I was big on him last year. I liked him last year. But this is a different looking team with him slinging the ball around. And not to mention dodging people as they're flying left and right around him. I like seeing that because I still have nightmares about the Kevin Cobb era of the second he gets hit, he's breaking in pieces. Yeah. I fear those days, and I don't have to fear that as much with Kyler because the guy is fast.
Yeah.
Fast.
Yeah, really fast. I agree with all of that. And as far as his inaccuracy, that's just a part of, being a little shook up being a rookie. I mean, it's not like he's
on the road.
He's accurate.
Yeah.
He just got shook up a little bit and had to calm himself down, and now he's back on point with the ball, and it's on point. I mean, he's firing. Did you see the one up the middle he fired into Christian? I mean, he's like, man.
There was about an inch of a window in that one, and he broke that window open.
Two passes he threw to Christian window, like right in the when the window's going down the last second.
Credit to Christian too for being able to get that one.
Right. But one thing I want to look at with his game is, do you see the dynamic that Lamar Jackson has in his offense with the dynamic of his running?
I know where you're going with this.
I think Cliff has to use him a little bit more to get the defense honest and let him do a few more of those, RPOs and let him run out of there. Because Kyler seems to me a little bit that he doesn't want to get hit, so he's not doing that fantastic type of run where you get that spectacular run and he breaks tackles and weaves his way in like he was doing in high school and college, weaving his way around defenses, and then next thing you know, he's down the field. He's not looking to do that. He's looking to just get out of bounds or get down, which is fine because this is the NFL. There's a whole lot bigger guys that are coming at you.
Right.
But I think you have to start to set defenses up. This offense can be way more dangerous with that threat. Did you see how Lamar Jackson, just a threat of him running, how screwed up our defense was early?
Yeah, and a lot of them weren't even scheduled runs.
Exactly. And then some of them were planned runs, and some of them were just, him improvising. But at the same time, the planned runs is what's killing us because he does the RPO and he's out the gate and he's gone. And it's like if we can get something like that going with Kyler, and we can get these defenses to be a little more playing back, like, okay, this dude could take off. We don't know. Some dude got to put a spy on him or something. That will make your offense dangerous.
Do you think that Cliff and the front office are maybe trying to keep a little bit of a lid on him so that his sophomore year is going to be the one that he explodes with and not have the sophomore regression?
I kind of agree with that. I agree with that.
I can see that. I'm okay with it. I mean, because just get him into the rhythm of the game, the speed of the game, the offense down, getting the connections to everybody. I think that would be a good thing.
Okay, we're going to go to the phone line. We got our guests coming in. I told you guys Bird Gang, and we're going to have Evan Kirk's going to join us tonight. And, of course, if you don't already know, I have to mention, in case you've been living under a rock, the father of Christian Kirk. Are you there, Evan?
Yes, I am. How
hey,
are
Evan,
you?
how's it going?
Doing pretty good. I got a little bit of issue with my volume here a little bit. Let me switch you real quick. All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
All right, there you go. All right. Sorry about that. How you doing tonight, man?
Don't worry. I'm doing good. Good.
All right. I'm Earl Burnett, a.k.a. Casual E. My co-host is Sean McConnell. We do a Casual Sports radio show here in the Valley. And we just want to thank you again for giving us giving us your time tonight, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, no worries. No worries.
All right. So were you at the game, or did you travel with the team, or you just kind of did it from the house?
Oh, no, we actually we watched the game from Tucson. Christian's two younger sisters go to U of A.
Sweet.
So we went to visit them and watched the game out there with the girls.
Okay, cool. U of A, man. What happened to ASU?
I know Christian's mother is a Sun Devil. So
there we go.
One of them mixed in there. There you go. One of them got to be mixed in there. Hey, I just want to. I want.
So we have a house divided.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's really on territorial nights. Got to be one hell of a night. But
yeah,
man, I just want to ask you, as a parent, having your child in the NFL like this. I mean, how do you separate being a parent and a fan? I mean, watching your son ball out like he did yesterday. How do you separate the two?
I guess we've been in this journey with Christian naturally ever since he started. So for us, we just, sit back and just kind of, relish his progression and things like that. I mean, Christian looked at me in the eyes at 9 years old and said, I'm going to be this, I want to be an NFL football player, Dad. And I didn't want to be that Debbie Downer and, talk all of the percentages, the fact that he may not make it, you know what I mean? But, he was focused and determined. And so, me and his mother, did whatever we could to support him and put him in the right position and place to continue along that path to achieve his dream, which is he's achieved it. He's playing in the NFL, so it's pretty awesome,
Right. I would love to have that for my child, but in anything they do, not just with football, but in anything they do. But that's awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So how? I mean, in the two games that we've seen his career so far up till now, how much work or how much do you think his potential has been reached, or how far away are we from seeing his full potential on the football field?
Yeah, what does that measuring stick look like, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think for what I've done and kind of told Christian, again, as he was younger and things like that, how does he envision himself at that point in time, high school football player, college football player, NFL football player? Correct. I mean, do you just want to be a football player? Or do you want to be legendary? And his work ethic and just his focus and really, and I always say football is 80% mental and 20% physical.
True.
There's a lot of you've got to be mentally tough, just because of the commitment and the discipline and the sacrifices that you have to make to get to that goal. And it's a long journey. It's a long journey. It's something that because he, is very passionate about the sport.
Right.
Is the reason why he's a player that he is, but he's always looking to get better.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I always used to tell him that the phenomenal players, not only in football or anything in life, are never comfortable where they're at.
That's true.
So he's always pushing to be the best that he can be and turn his weaknesses into strengths.
Right.
So he can continue to be, and like I said, what does that look like when you say, does he meet it? Has he met his full potential? I mean, as long as he's going to be in that and be able to play,
exactly,
and have that blessing to be able to play, he's always going to continue to push to be the best that he can be.
Right. Do you take a step back? Are you like his biggest critic? Like for instance, a game yesterday. How do you look at his game yesterday, and what do you take away from his game yesterday?
I felt like Christian was more aggressive in going after the ball.
Yes,
Not saying that
exactly.
he's you know what I mean, but
Yeah.
I just think this game you could just see. I mean, those. He made a couple of crucial catches, especially the one that looked like he was in triple coverage.
Exactly. Yeah.
And to go up and get after that, those are the things that kind of, again, that I've told him is especially as competitive as it gets, as you progress on in different leagues and levels.
Right.
You have to be more of an aggressive wide receiver,
Exactly.
right? Because it's not like the ball's just going to come to you and you can sit and wait for it, because those opportunities are going to be slim and none at this level. But yeah, he played. You know, that's one of the things that I really saw in his play. You know, yesterday was that he was more aggressive in going after that ball.
And I agree with that because as last year, of course, we know the debacle of the team last year. He didn't have a chance last year, and then he got, you know, the injury. But this year, I noticed exactly that. He's starting to look dominant on the field, and that's coming from understanding the offense first and getting with that quarterback second. So it looks really good. I could see, from just the 2 weeks, four catches, 32 yards on the first week, and that was with a fourth quarter. We only played one quarter pretty much, and then 6 for 114 is like the big jump. It's like, okay, now he's going to be one of those guys you got to account for on the field. That's what I mean. But my man Sean here is on the other line here, and I think we might be having some issues with his sound, so I'm going to try to get him a question in here.
Can you hear me, Evan?
Okay.
Yeah, we can't hear me. My audio's out. I'll ask the question. I'll have Earl ask it. So
I can hear.
You can't hear me? Oh, perfect. My son's 10. He's a little speedy receiver, just like yours was.
No, I can't hear him.
Okay, yeah. All right. I'll just relay what he's saying to you.
Yeah, so my son, he's 10. He's a little speedy receiver like yours was. What tips did you have to share for me, dad to dad, like drills, etc.? How are we going to get my kid on your level?
He's a father of a 10-year-old right now, and his son is really speedy and fast like yours. And what tips can you give from dad to dad for his little son that he can give to his son as a dad to his son?
Oh, there's a lot of tips there. I mean, me as a father, raising Christian through this football life. One of the things that I told him when he put the shoulder pads on at five years old, there was a couple of statutes that I said is, look, this is his program and not mine.
Right.
And if he's going to do it, he's got to give it 110%. There's no quitting in the middle of it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
What you start of, what you're going to finish. If you decide you want to play a different sport after that, then he can make that change. But I never, we've say that for me and his mother. I mean, we've never had any expectations. Right. Again, it's about just, raising your children in anything that they do in life. Okay. Again, we just supported him in anything that he did. And one of the things that Christian was he's a sponge. And after games, he would, come and ask me a lot of questions about his performance and things like that. And I was very realistic with him. Hey, buddy, you didn't play that well of a game and so on and so forth. And these are the reasons why, you know what I mean? Right. And let's see how we can work together and help you fix those things so you can be a better football player, not only for yourself, but for your team.
Right.
And we were very, very supportive of it because Christian fell in love with the sport at a very young age.
Right. Yeah.
And, as parents, we tell, our children and raise our children to do things that they love. And it doesn't seem like a job. It's, because you can do it 24/7. You can live, eat, and breathe it. And that's what he took in football. And we just supported him in that. And that's all I can, and say. And really, it's all, again, about just the basic parenting, right?
Exactly.
And the last thing I told Christian is education comes first.
Okay.
I don't care how good he was. I didn't care how, the coaches can beg, plead, and scream to get you on that team. I said, but if your grades aren't where they're supposed to be, or you're not living and abiding by the standards and rules that me and his mother have established for himself, he can kiss football goodbye.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that.
Because at the end of the day, there's going to come a day that it's just going to be Christian Kirk. It's not going to be Christian Kirk, the NFL football player. It's just going to be Christian Kirk. And how does he want to be remembered and things like that? So, those are one of the things that were very important to us as he was, coming up is just to be a good human being and a good young man and, just very respectful to people and so on and so forth. And
Well,
and do it because that's you. You know what I mean?
Right. I definitely see that in him, and you definitely done a good job there. That's for sure.
Definitely.
But on those lines, when you said earlier about if this is going to be what you're going to do, this is your thing, it's his thing. So on those lines, as a dad of a NFL wide receiver, the place where divas are made, in the situation with Antonio Brown, if that's your son, if he has a situation like that, how do you handle that type of situation with your son causing that much havoc and doing those things in the public eye? How do you as a parent take care of something like that?
Okay, so you kind of broke in and out, so I'm sorry. I'm going to have you repeat that.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm just saying, as a NFL dad, as a dad of an NFL wide receiver, because wide receivers could be divas at sometimes. In the case of in the case of Antonio Brown, let's just say your son gets off into that. Not saying this will happen because he seems like this will never happen to him, but how does a dad handle that situation with his son doing those type of things? How do you handle that if you're the family member watching your son do these things on network on TV and pretty much almost downing the family name pretty much? How do you handle those things?
Well, again, it's back to what I said about abiding by the rules and standards that we have established in this household, and to have that Kirk name on your back.
Exactly.
And I've used examples back in the day of wide receivers that have been similar and boisterous and so on and so forth, and you see where that's gotten them. You know what I mean?
Right. So
and I just used to point out to Christian and learn from other people's mistakes, right? Don't be that guy.
Right.
I mean, look what that gets you. And so he saw those things again at a very young age, and so he understood progressing on, and he started to build more and more notoriety. I told him, I said, once you get to high school, it's really now you're going to be walking around under man and this and that, and don't get wrapped up into that, because again, there's going to come a point in time where you're not going to be Christian Kirk, the football player.
Exactly.
You're just going to be Christian Kirk.
Right. He's got some good stability, and of course from your upbringing. And he's got another guy in the locker room as a wide receiver as well that I'm sure you're elated to having him in that locker room with him. Give me a little bit. Yeah, give me a little bit about your history with Fitz. I mean, I know you guys kind of, Christian has been kind of in his life at some point going, from high school coming up. How does that feel as a parent going? You're pretty much, and then now you end up right here in the same city, the same team, the same everything. I mean, that's got to be crazy, right?
Oh, I mean, me and his mother, Melissa, I mean, we still are in shock. I mean, when they called his name,
wow,
and
it's a beautiful moment.
It was surprising to me because, you reflect back in that picture where they showed Larry and Christian.
Right.
That was Christian's very first football camp that he ever attended.
Jeez. That is awesome. That is awesome.
Very first football camp that he ever attended, and was up at NAU, and Larry was, rookie at that point in time. And that's where, that relationship started. And then when Christian was probably, I think it was 9, I moved him over to Pop Warner because, he was playing NYS and just really successful at that. And I'm like, okay, if you want to be the best, you got to play with the best. So let's move into another level, a very competitive league. And it was Pop Warner at that point in time.
Right.
And at that time, Kurt Warner's youngest son, Kay, was on Christian's team.
Oh,
so
wow.
they used to come to the games. Kurt and Larry used to come to the games the first quarter, maybe quarter and a half on Saturday, and watch Kate, and then Christian run up and down the field and do his thing. So, I mean, that relationship and, them connecting over and over, and what I mean, throughout the periodic times of his development in football. And now here he is.
Wow. That is freaking awesome. That is awesome, man. Okay, so let's take the dad part out. Let's be a fan right now of the Arizona Cardinals. Okay. So where you see us being right now? Do you think this team has enough going forward to compete this year in this division, or is this the year we just kind of put it all together and then we do it all next year?
Yeah, I mean, I think that they do. I think that they do. I mean, if we're 2 games in and they've gotten better.
Yeah,
I mean, and it's all about progression. And then, unfortunately, the first game, it came later on in the fourth quarter. But still, from fourth quarter to the way they performed against Baltimore, I mean, the signs are there.
Right.
The signs are there. And I tell people, with Kingsbury's offense, I think it's going to be dynamic. It's going to be exciting. There's going to be a lot of motions and mismatches and things like that. And some of these defenses in the NFL are not used to that. Some people knock it, and then some people relish it.
Exactly.
But, Christian played similar to the offense when he was a freshman at A&M.
Correct.
He's very familiar with it.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I had that kind of slipped my mind a little bit. So yeah, we can compete. So that's a good thing. Hopefully we can. Now these 2 teams are kind of losing their quarterbacks over here. We're like, maybe we get that help us a little along the way as well. But let's jump into something else here. I mean, I interviewed Christian over at Larry Fitzgerald's event, and we got to talking about him doing things in the community. And does he have anything that's close to his heart that he's going to try to do a foundation with? Okay, I know he already gave me his answer to that. He said future-wise, of course. But do you personally, as family, as the family of Christian Kirk, as the Kirk family, have something in your heart that you can, now that you have this platform, that you can start a foundation, or do you look to do something like that in the future?
It's interesting that you said that or asked that question because me and Melissa were just talking about that this past weekend.
Okay.
And as a few years down the road, that's something that we would love to do, and
awesome.
help Christian support maybe a foundation that he's working with the Children's Cancer Society and others, but we'd love to get involved because really it is all about giving back and
absolutely,
and helping if you have that ability to help. That's what we want to do. We haven't really picked a foundation or anything like that. You know what I mean? But we definitely have that in the forefront of our minds.
All right. Well, we'll look forward to that because here at the station and here at KSRN and this station, that's all we do is jump in the community and
absolutely
and work all these things out and whatever you get going. I mean, you hit us up and we'll promote it for you and help you do it, and we'll be right alongside of you doing it, man. So you just let us know.
Absolutely.
Lastly, and I gotta hit you with this one.
Uh-oh.
Did you give him any grief last year when he let the turf monster tackle him before that return, when he could have had his first touchdown going into the end zone?
Oh, that's cold.
We talked about that after the game, and it's I'm blanking out who the punter was.
I'm kind of gone too with it, but it was just that point. Yeah.
Well, what most people don't know is that's Christian's former teammate at Texas A&M.
Are you kidding me? I didn't know that. I did not know that.
So
okay.
Christian got excited.
You could tell.
Comes down the field, and he said, "What most people don't understand." Dang it, what is his name? I can't think of his name. He said, what most people don't understand is he's very fast.
Okay.
And he said, so what I was trying to do is kind of go outside, make him think I was going outside.
Right,
and if you notice, he stepped out. And then when he stepped back in, he was like, once I stepped back in, he said, I got excited because I just saw nothing but green grass in the end zone.
Right.
And he knew he was gone. He knew he was gone. He's like, I'm just going to step and I'm out of here. And he's like, they're my legs. And he just stopped. He's like, they're my legs. They just
gave away.
They were gone.
Oh man, I know the family probably gave him all kinds of grief for that for a while, but
he's gonna get one though.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
he's due.
I agree with that.
He's
I mean,
due for sure.
If the NFL can sure up these doggone referees from all these flags flying all over the place, I mean, yeah, he'll definitely get one for sure. But man, Evan, we really appreciate you coming in tonight and giving us some time,
Definitely.
man. And we definitely want to get you back in here at some point. And we thank you for your time tonight.
Absolutely.
All right, you have a good night, sir.
Thanks, Evan.
You do the same. Thank you for having me.
Take care. No problem at all.
You too.
That is Evan Kirk. Good dude.
Good dude, man.
He follows us on Facebook and just reached out to us. Hey, the game went down. Come on in. And we finally get him in here, and so we'll be keeping in touch with him, especially when they drop that foundation stuff. That's pretty awesome.
We got to have the team leader in receiving yards. I mean, 114 yards. You got to have the dad on for that. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. His son about to be the face of the dang franchise. Him and Kyler Murray in the next few years when Fitz calls it quits. So. But that was awesome. A lot of insight there. That was pretty cool. Okay, sorry, man, the audio again on your end. I mean,
I know what you're doing to me, man.
Just shoot
I
me.
get it. It's fine. It's cause you're jealous of the mustache, right? You just can't handle the mustache, right? Because mine's thicker than yours. Is that what it is?
So I guess we could go. We'll roll with that for now.
Yeah.
Let's do something here. We got several teams that are 2-0 right now.
3 of them are in the division,
and 3 of them in our division. Yes. So let's go down to each one, and let's just go down to the list and see.
Okay.
Which ones are real and got a chance to, continue on to be a playoff team, and which ones are just fake and just a fake 2-0.
All right.
Like, you just got lucky. The schedule hooked you up or whatever. So
yeah.
Okay, so on the list down at in the AFC, of course, we know the New England Patriots are going to probably not lose again.
Well, with that division, I mean, are you kidding? They play Miami at least one more time.
Well, yeah, that's 6 games in that division automatically.
That's 6 wins right there.
6 wins, and then now you got to beat up Pittsburgh. You already beat.
Yep. New England's for real.
All we have left there is can Kansas City pull it off later?
Hope so.
Who else we got 2-0? I had it listed up here a minute ago, but I dropped it. So you got them all there, which you go ahead and Buffalo. Buffalo's right next to New England now. Fake.
Fakers. No way. Mm-mm.
Fakers. What? Yeah. Okay, give me a reason why they fakers. It's just the schedule hooked them up.
The schedule hooked them up, man. They're not ready yet. Come on. Okay. One of those games was the Jets.
And what are they doing right now?
0-2. Sucking buttermilk.
Exactly. All right, so next on the line, the next one in line would be the...
Got Chiefs.
Who?
You got the Chiefs. Those are for real.
Of course. We know they 2-0. The Chiefs. Okay, let's go Baltimore Ravens. Everybody's
sleeper team in the NFL.
They had easy teams, but that's not true. The Cardinals wasn't an easy win for them.
No, I mean, honestly, I think that was a little bit of a showing out for us.
Yeah, it was.
A lot of people have Baltimore as that sleeper team, and with Ingram and Jackson running that way, I mean, I can't deny that. And that defense they hit hard on that defense,
right?
They let you know that they hit you hard. So that team's going to be there to stay for sure. And I see them taking that division from the Browns, actually.
Oh yeah. Remember we said that earlier. Earlier we were talking on the neutral zone. There's no way the Browns are going to overtake that team. They've been doing it too long.
They'll get second, and they might make playoffs, but the Ravens are going to be there for sure.
If Lamar Jackson can do what he's been doing up to this point, that's a dangerous team. I don't see. I mean, they'll be in the mix for sure at the end. Then you got we already did Kansas City. We know they're there. Then we got the Dallas Cowboys. I think that team's real, man. I mean, maybe they just control their division so well, and they just get those 2 wins anyway.
You got the Redskins and the Giants in that division. Yeah. The Cowboys are faker than the fake grass and fake implants that Jerry Jones has all over his face, man. Come on, Cowboys, if they make the playoffs, they're losing in the wild card round. I'm calling it right now.
Okay.
I'm not taking them.
Their team is good enough to at least get there, that's for sure.
Okay, fine.
I mean, who knows the luck of the draw? Your opponent, you never know if they end up the number 2 seed or something like that. They get an easier opponent and then get to that next level. So you never
get
know.
Waxed. All right, so the next 3
Packers.
Oh man, they surprised me, man.
You know what? This is the surpriser because their defense is better.
Yeah,
their defense is a lot better.
They're more balanced overall.
When Aaron gets up to par, he's still a little bit rusty.
Yeah.
I mean, he looked a little bit more like Aaron on yesterday, but he's still got a little ways to go. But when he gets on point, and then you got a defense behind him, they could be dangerous.
Yeah, I'm gonna say for real right now, but especially because that division looks really questionable.
Oh yeah.
So
sure.
I'm gonna say they're for real in the sense that they're taking their division. Just like it's kind of like the Cowboys, but I'm gonna say the Cowboys are fake because it's the Cowboys.
Right.
So
we don't know what Minnesota is going to look like, and we don't know what Detroit's doing. So
not really, no. So next we got the NFC West for sure. Which
and then
is
the whole NFC West is 2-0 except the Cardinals.
You know, there's only one real team on that one, and it's got to be the Rams just because of what they have on paper. I think Seattle is going to still be there just because it's Seattle. San Fran's fake, man. Get them out of here.
So?
They're fake. Come on.
Yeah, they had 2 road wins though. So I mean, when you think about it, winning on the road is not easy.
Yeah, that's fine. But who were their wins?
Yeah.
What were the wins, Earl?
The wins were the Bucks and
the Bengals.
Cincinnati, but Cincinnati gave who last
Earl.
week a hard time?
Earl. What did we talk about? We talked about the Niners making Andy Dalton look like Andy Dalton.
Yeah. Well.
Andy Dalton did that for them. He didn't have the Niners didn't take it. He just went back to normal. Come on.
Okay. All right.
And then they got the Steelers next. Come on. They're going to go 3-0.
Oh, yeah, really.
Ridiculous.
Okay, so those are your true and false teams right there. So let me do this real quick before we get out of here. As you know, we always got to do this before we get out of here.
Well, you know what, though, real quick.
Here's to those who just...
Something under his head. That must mean can't get right. Can't get right. That's the kid's name? Yep. No, can't get right. Can't get right.
Can't get right.
What was you going to say?
I was going to do something else, but I'll wrap it in there anyway.
Okay.
Can't get right. My can't get right for this week has got to be the Arizona Cardinals red zone offense.
Oh, yeah.
It cannot get right. Now, I know Cliff said he wasn't going to be too cute, but he was playing cute in the red zone, and it showed. Pound the ball. I don't care if you put 3 tight ends, 4 fullbacks, and a center in there. Line it up, punch everybody in the face, and get David in the house. Now, I'm going to reserve the fact that they're going to change because you know what? In the NFL,
it's over, Johnny. It's over. Nothing is over. Nothing.
Nothing is over in the NFL. We're going to get that red zone offense fixed because they just got called out on can't get right.
Right. Man, the cuteness when you talk about Cliff Kingsbury, he's giving more fuel to everybody that keeps calling us this pretty boy team.
Yep.
And so when you get in the red zone, on the 1 yard line particularly,
stop throwing fades.
Stop throwing fades. Thank you. Stop 3 fades. Oh, that man! I was like steaming. I said, "When you stop," and I could see him on the sideline. He went fade. Let's go fade. I could read his lips. He just said fade. I'm like, he's finna throw the fade again. Like, think this about something. All right, what's on my list here for can't get right? Let's see. The officials against the New Orleans Saints.
Oh.
They can't get right against that team for nothing.
They forgot which team they were supposed to be calling it against on this game.
They got the yips, dude. The refs got the yips against the Saints. They're like, we're scared.
Flag.
Make a mistake. Oh, flag. Oh, no, I didn't mean to throw that. Oh, they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, that was.
How does one team get
that
many calls against them that are that brutal?
That's bad.
That is bad. Shame on you referees. It's time for a new crew or something. Man.
Bring back the subs.
Let's not accommodate the Saints. I think that a lot of that has to do with it too. The crying and the crying and the crying and the crying from the Saints. Now the refs are trying to keep their ears open and try to, but I don't know, man. It's up and down up there, man. Get right, referees. What else you got? Or do you have anything else?
Let's see. Can't get right. I'm gonna say the Michigan State kicker can't get right. Even when you got the redos, come on now. Can't get right. Fork 'em, baby. ASU, boy. Let's go.
Devils. 2 kicks in a row, 2 years straight, missed kicks. Give the Devils the win. That's something else. Good job out there, Herm, for sure. I got to throw the D-backs in there, too. I mean, you win 10 out of 11, then turn around and lose 7 out of 10. I mean, go 3-7 the last 10 games. I mean, playoff done with, over with. Let's stop the madness about trying to make that playoff run. But good job, the overall D-backs, though. I got to give them that. Overall, they did a good job this year with what they had to work with.
Yeah.
So, and those are the people that can't get right. We always have them. Oh, man. This has been another cool show. Definitely want to thank my man Evan Kirk for coming in and spending some time with us for the first time in the Kazual House. We'll get him back in here soon. Hey, Sean, of course, we do this every Monday, and man, one of these days we'll get your freaking audio in where you can interview some of these people.
Oh, man. Yo, Sean, get a bunch of questions ready. Okay, I got them ready. Oh, you're killing me, man. You're killing me. You just want to pull me away.
No, hey, but actually, that's kind of punishment for Mr. Leave Early right here.
Hey, we're not going to talk about that. Come on, I watched the whole game this week.
Okay, I give you that. Bird Gang, till next week. You're listening to the Kazual Sports Show. We do this for you. Come join us every Monday night right here on KSRN. Hit us up on www.ksrnaz.com. And, of course, on the 3 avenues we have on social media. We'll check you next week, Bird Gang. Peace.
Later.